The last lesson was on making a sound on the guitar. This lesson is going to be on changing the sound on the guitar. So when you're playing the guitar, it's generally this hand that makes the sound and it's this hand that changes the sound. So what changes the sound on the guitar is by adding fingers to the fingerboard. So this hand stimulates the strings, makes them vibrate and creates a sound. This is the hand that changes the sound. So your right hand makes a sound and your left hand changes the sound. And how we change the sound is by putting our fingers in different places on the fingerboard. If you put your finger there, it sounds like that. If you put it there, it sounds like that. Every time you move your finger, it changes the sound. So that's the same with individual notes or chords. So this hand controls making the sound and this hand controls changing the sound. So how you change the sound is, you change where you put your finger. So that finger's there, you get that sound. You take the finger off, you get a different sound there. So that's quite a basic idea, but it's quite important to think about. So now what I'm going to talk about is how to get the sound sounding nice, and if it doesn't sound nice, we want to be able to quickly analyse why it doesn't sound nice. So when I'm playing that note there, you can hear the note clearly because I'm pushing down hard in the second fret on the first string. I'm pushing down nice and hard and the string vibrates fine. There's no obstruction in the way. If, for example, I'm doing that, it would sound like that. There's something in the way, there's a finger in the way. There's nothing in the way, so the note sounds fine, and I'm applying enough pressure to make the note sound. So the things that make notes sound bad are some sort of obstruction. So if I was playing this note here on the second string up, I played that one and I tried to play the open string below it, a lot of the time what happens is you'll hear a noise like that, and that's because the finger that I'm playing, the note that I'm fretting, the finger's obstructing the string below. So you just have to bring your finger up onto its tip a little bit more and make sure it's not touching that string. Okay, so the two things that tend to obstruct the sound that you're making with your left hand are either that you're not pushing down hard enough on the note, so the note's not ringing out clearly, or that there's something obstructing the vibration of the string. So there might be a finger or something, or it might be a piece of string from your guitar strap, which sometimes happens with me. I'll need to tidy that up a bit. So just to recap, your right hand makes the sound and your left hand changes the sound. So the potential problems with this hand are that you're moving it too far, or that you're hitting the strings too hard and you're not hitting the strings at a continual sort of force. So you're getting some strings sounding louder than other ones. You might be getting some strings vibrating and some strings sounding gentle. You don't really want that at the start. Sometimes we use that further down the line. And this hand, your potential problem points are your finger not being pushing down hard enough on the note, or something obstructing the strings vibration. So you just need to have a look at what you're doing, and you can hear it. Hopefully you can hear the difference between that note there. That note sings out, you can hear the note, and that one doesn't. So if it doesn't sound right, make sure that you analyse what you're doing. You have to listen to yourself very carefully in what you're doing if you want to improve and get good at the guitar. It's all about trying to correct the mistakes. Don't just accept something that doesn't sound nice. Always try and improve what you're doing and be mindful of what you're doing so that you can improve it. Don't just hear a note that doesn't sound right and move on and think that'll be okay. Try and analyse it, work out what the problem is. I've outlined normally what the problems are. There's not enough pressure, there's something in the way, or you're hitting one string harder than the rest. So just sort of refer to that checklist if something doesn't sound right, and if it doesn't sound right, just move your finger a little bit, move it up, try and get your finger on the tip. You should always be using the very tip of your finger to make the sound on the guitar. You shouldn't be doing something like that, because that's going to obstruct the string down below. You should always be up on your tip, your finger should be on its tip. All your fingers should be on their tips, and they shouldn't be obstructing strings below them. So this lesson was on changing the sound of the guitar. So just to recap, you make the sound with this hand and you change the sound with this hand.